The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, March 10 tease that emotions run high as jealous Summer Newman seeks to squash Kyle Abbott's relationship with Claire Newman. As a result, stealthy and single Holden Novak takes the opportunity to flirt with Claire. Summer is the only one who won't admit the truth that she is still hung up on Kyle. After eavesdropping on his phone convo with Claire, Summer takes action. Summer can't admit the truth about Kyle. Maybe if Summer were honest, she would stake her public claim on Kyle and wage an honest battle with Claire over the hunk. But she's not, so she resorts to game playing. Will Summer interfere and stop Diane Jenkins Abbott and Jack Abbott from babysitting Harrison Abbott, thus ruining Claire's date? Don't put it past her. Claire is all alone at the bar. However, the interference takes place. Claire ends up at the GAC bar alone, where she orders a martini and starts talking to herself. Out of the blue, Holden appears and horns in on her conversation for one. Wasn't Holden supposed to be on a flight back to Le? Oh well, may as well spend time with a cute girl in the meantime. Tell us what you're thinking, why, and our fans. Are you shipping Claire and Holden, or does this potential pairing have disaster written all over it? Will Kyle and Summer witness the two singletons laughing and making merry and have strong reactions? Definitely maybe. Sharon and Phyllis keep trudging along. Back in the insane asylum with Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers, they have more puzzles to figure out. This sends them down memory lane, sparring and reminiscing. All of a sudden, Phyllis becomes sick. Is this real? Maybe the kidnapper drugging her, or is Red pulling a fast one? We can totally see Phyllis trying out a con, with the intent of having the captor let her go. What do you think, Eli and our fans? Will Phyllis' condition grant her an early release, or will it make the captor even more determined to have his way with them? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y and R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates, and make us your favorite hotspot. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Summer Newman and Chance Chancellor will share a close moment, but should she stop leading him on? At this point, even Jack Abbott has a strong hunch that Summer wants Kyle Abbott back. Summer flat out admitted she wasn't sure she could ever get her relationship with Chance on track again. Although Summer claims it's because of how Chance handled Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s arrest drama, that feels like a bogus excuse. Chance was just doing his job, and Daniel himself clearly isn't holding any grudges over Chance's actions. The real reason Summer doesn't want Chance anymore probably has more to do with her feelings for Kyle than anything else. Summer is growing increasingly fixated on Kyle and the possibility of reigniting their own romance. However, that won't stop Summer from leaning on Chance in Y and R's March 12 episode. Summer will let Chance console her over Phyllis Summers' ordeal, so we have to wonder if this is really fair to Chance. It seems like maybe Summer will enjoy Chance's attention, but she obviously won't plan on giving him much in return. Summer will use Chance for support and then presumably go right back to her Kyle pursuit. How long will it take Chance to realize Summer's just not that into him? Will Chance figure out that Summer's far more interested in a Kyle reunion at this point? Whatever the case, Chance will step up for Summer and do his best to reassure her about Phyllis. That'll bring a close moment and could potentially leave Chance with some hope for their future together, but it doesn't seem like another chapter's going to happen. Instead, Summer seems poised to go all in on fighting for Kyle and trying to break up his relationship with Claire Newman. Our predictions hint that Chance will eventually have to move on with his life, but Summer will apparently lead him on a little longer in the meantime. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer and Chance will reconnect a bit despite her real goal being Kyle, so stay tuned for updates on any romantic news to come. We'll have other great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so drop by regularly for more Y&R info. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week's episodes of the hit CBS soap tease more of the same. Phyllis and Sharon being held hostage remains front and center on the show. The good news for those not interested in this storyline is that spoilers tease that the climax is near. There's also a twist coming for Nate and Audra, thanks to Holden. Meanwhile, Summer once again proved she's a chip off the old block as she vows to get what she wants, Kyle. Here's everything happening on the Young and the Restless next week. Billy and Nick work together. Now that the cat is out of the bag that both Sharon and Phyllis are missing, Billy convinces Nick that they need to team up. Against his better judgment, Nick agrees to work with Billy to bring the two women home. Chance is still on the case, too. When the cop lends Summer a shoulder to lean on, will it be about her mother or her ex-husband? Before the week ends, Chance shares a lead with Nick and Billy, bringing them closer to finding Phyllis and Sharon. It's a good thing because time is running out for them. Sharon and Phyllis fight it out. Over with the kidnapped duo, things take multiple turns as their captor keeps playing games. In fact, one message from the mystery voice rocks Sharon and Phyllis to their core. So far, Phyllis and Sharon have been forced to work together, but that changes next week. Phyllis will have to make an impossible decision to save herself. All signs point to Phyllis choosing to help or save Sharon too, because the women get the upper hand. In true soap fashion, though, their control doesn't last long, and they fall into a horrible trap. Sharon and Phyllis end the week literally fighting for their lives, so Nick, Billy, and Chance better hurry up and find them before it's too late. Other Y&R tidbits. Elsewhere in Genoa City, Audra covers her tracks with Nate regarding her past with Holden. However, when Holden decides to stick around town, Nate notices something is off with his girlfriend. Speaking of Holden, he has a very flirty encounter with Claire. Could Summer use this to cause a rift between Claire and Kyle? It's not all doom and gloom in Genoa City. Tracy and Alan share some good news with Jack and Diane. A lot is happening on the hit CBS soap next week. Be sure to tune in daily so that not a moment of the juicy entertainment on Y&R is missed. Audra is startled to find Holden at Crimson Lights. He's eager to see her again, but she brushes him off, insisting the past is behind her. When she finally sits with him, she warns him to keep his feelings to himself. She already has a successful man in her life. Holden reminds her they were once close, but she dismisses it. He assures her he wants nothing from her, but reveals he'll be staying in Genoa City for work. Holden is surprised when Audra mentions she told Nate about their past. With Nate preoccupied, it barely registered. She urges Holden to focus on Damien, questioning their dynamic. Holden hints at Damien's temper, but remains vague about their relationship. Meanwhile, Diane offers to babysit Harrison, encouraging Kyle to spend time with Claire. Kyle, appreciating the support, agrees. Diane sees the Abbott house renovation as a peace offering and a way to feel included in the family. At the ranch, Claire questions Victor about his stance on her and Kyle. Victor insists he doesn't favor one granddaughter over the other, but doubts Kyle is right for either. Claire stands firm in her relationship, making Victor promise not to interfere. Summer and Jack reconnect, discussing their bond and Harrison's well-being. Jack assures her that despite Victor's meddling, their family remained strong. Summer insists she'll never side against Jack, emphasizing the importance of unity. At the athletic club, Nate and Damien discuss Damien's strained relationship with his mother and their late father. Damien, loyal to his dad's memory, struggles to forgive her. Nate offers insights but acknowledges some questions will never be answered. Later, Nate introduces Audra to Damien. Holden, supposed to be on a flight, joins them, making Damien uneasy. Pulling him aside, Damien scolds Holden for prioritizing his ex over business, warning him to stay focused. Holden later asks Audra to lunch when he returns, and she hesitantly agrees. Nate notices her mood and grows suspicious. Elsewhere, Kyle calls Claire, eager for their date. Summer overhears, looking concerned. At Society, Diane surprises Jack with babysitting plans for Harrison. Jack welcomes the idea, but confesses he suspects Summer wants Kyle back. Diane is shocked by the revelation. What began as an unassuming evening quickly spiraled into a horrifying ordeal that no one could have predicted. Phyllis and Sharon, caught in a sinister web of manipulation, found themselves at the mercy of a ruthless kidnapper. Their captor, shrouded in darkness, orchestrated what seemed to be a rare moment of normalcy, a lavish meal prepared with meticulous care. But beneath the surface of the seemingly elegant dinner lurked a deadly trap. As the evening progressed, Phyllis initially felt nothing amiss, savoring the well-prepared dishes in the flickering candlelight. Yet, as the night deepened, so did the unease that settled over her. A gnawing pain took hold of her stomach, sharp and unrelenting. At first, she brushed it off as mere exhaustion, whispering to Sharon that she needed to rest. But within moments, that discomfort escalated into unbearable agony. Terror gripped Phyllis as she collapsed, her body convulsing violently. Desperate, she clutched at Sharon, pleading for relief, her voice weak but filled with fear. "Please, help me. I can't take this." But the only response came from the chilling voice of the kidnapper, his words laced with malice. "You should have known better, Phyllis. Your defiance comes at a price. I laced your food with poison, and now you will suffer." The revelation hit Sharon like a sledgehammer. Her mind raced as she watched her dear friend writhing in pain, her breaths coming in ragged gasps. The horror of the moment was heightened by the cruel laughter that echoed through the room, the kidnapper reveling in their torment. The walls seemed to close in around them, amplifying the sense of inescapable doom. Phyllis, once a beacon of fiery resilience, was now reduced to a shadow of her former self, her strength fading with each agonizing second. Sharon, paralyzed by shock, fought against the overwhelming despair that threatened to consume her. She knelt beside Phyllis, her hands trembling as she tried to comfort her. "I won't let you go," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. But the kidnapper wasn't done. His voice rang out once more, delivering a cruel ultimatum. "For you to live, Phyllis must die. This is the fate I have designed. Let her suffering be your lesson and her death your salvation." The twisted logic of his words sent a shiver down Sharon's spine. The very idea that her survival depended on Phyllis's demise was unthinkable. Sharon clenched her fists, refusing to accept this brutal fate. "I won't leave her," she declared, her voice trembling but resolute. "If she dies, I die with her." The conviction in her words was unshakable. No matter what the kidnapper planned, she would not abandon Phyllis in her final moments. Phyllis's breaths grew shallow, her face contorted in pain. Sharon held her tightly, whispering reassurances even as despair threatened to consume them both. Memories of their battles, their triumphs, and their unwavering friendship flashed through her mind. She refused to let Phyllis go without a fight. Despite the poison ravaging her body, Phyllis summoned the last of her strength. She gazed at Sharon, her eyes filled with both pain and gratitude. "Stay strong," she murmured, her voice barely audible. Then, with a final shudder, she fell limp in Sharon's arms. A chilling silence settled over the room. Sharon's sobs broke the stillness as she rocked Phyllis's lifeless body, grief and rage intertwining within her. But even in her devastation, a fire ignited in her soul. The kidnapper had expected her to crumble, to accept the loss as inevitable. But he had underestimated her. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that the show's been offering some warning signs when it comes to Tracy Abbott's love life. There are good reasons to believe Tracy won't be living happily ever after with Alan Laurent. and that's because he may actually be Alan's devious twin brother. Martin Laurent may not be deceased if he managed to switch clothes with Alan after their balcony tumble. That's all it would have taken for Martin to score this opportunity to dupe Tracy and those closest to her. Now that Alan is doing strange things, like not recognizing the Abbott mansion that he's been to before, Y&R seems to be gearing up for a big Martin reveal. If this is indeed Martin, he'll continue working his magic on Tracy as he tries to pull her even closer. Now that Tracy is head over heels, the next logical step is probably for Martin to pop the question. It's easy to imagine Alan blowing Tracy away with a beautiful marriage proposal. Martin may really go all out to make Tracy feel special and convince her that he wants to spend the rest of their lives together. Of course, Alan and Tracy's romance has been moving awfully fast, and it'll be moving even faster if they get engaged. That's the kind of thing that could raise red flags and stir up some suspicions for Tracy's family. Jack Abbott, Billy Abbott, and Abby Newman Abbott might urge Tracy to slow down before she jumps into marriage with Alan so quickly. Ashley Abbott was originally expected back in town by the fall, but now it's looking like it'll be the end of summer based on Alan's most recent report. That could put Ashley back on canvas to raise an eyebrow over Alan and his unusually impulsive behavior soon. Martin might start to slip up eventually, so maybe that could start with a speedy marriage proposal. Ashley might find that out of character for Alan and grow suspicious over Tracy's newest relationship. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Tracy could face total devastation down the road, so we'll bring you updates on any crushing Martin news and more predictions on GC romantic disasters. So where you want to be for sizzling Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your favorite Y&R hotspot. At the athletic club, Kyle unexpectedly runs into Summer while she's picking up takeout. Their conversation is lighthearted at first, joking about how it feels like their families are living together again in the club suites. Kyle mentions that Harrison enjoys moving between their rooms, but hopes the renovations on the mansion will finish soon so they can return home. When he asks about her mother, Summer admits she's trying not to worry, but something feels off. After everything that happened to Heather, she can't shake the fear that Phyllis wouldn't have disappeared without a reason. Overwhelmed, she begins to cry, and Kyle pulls her into a comforting hug. Just then, Claire enters through the revolving doors and immediately freezes when she sees Kyle holding Summer. The intimacy of the moment clearly unsettles her. Claire quickly regains her composure and interrupts them. Summer steps back and explains that she was just feeling emotional, trying to process everything. Claire, on the other hand, says she's there for a business lunch with Nikki. Summer is surprised at Claire's professional ambition, given how recently she was devoted to working with children. Claire reveals that while she loved caring for Harrison, she feels revitalized returning to the business world. Kyle reassures her that she's exactly where she belongs. However, Summer's expression hardens as she watches them. Memories of Claire's past with Jordan come flooding back. For the first time in a long time, Summer feels certain she isn't just reacting out of desperation. Claire, meanwhile, remains unaware of Summer's growing suspicions. When Nikki arrives, she praises Claire for being early. Over lunch, Nikki and Summer discuss Phyllis's mysterious situation, with Nikki trying to reassure her granddaughter that Phyllis will return. Meanwhile, Nikki also notices tension between Summer and Claire. When she presses Claire about it, Claire admits that she senses Summer struggling with Kyle's relationship. She's unsure if Summer wants Kyle back, but something is definitely off. Nikki suggests that Victor may be nudging Summer toward rekindling things with Kyle. Claire has no proof but points out that Summer has been acting more assertive around Kyle lately. Nikki advises her granddaughter not to be intimidated by Summer. If Claire's relationship with Kyle is solid, she should hold on to it and not let doubts creep in. Later, when Kyle and Summer arrive at Crimson Lights, he senses her mood has changed. She's been unusually quiet. Kyle directly asks if she's upset about his relationship with Claire. Summer insists he's free to be with anyone he chooses, but she admits she still feels protective of him. Kyle tells her to let go of those lingering feelings, as his parents already worry about him enough. However, Summer has a bigger concern: her grandfather, Victor. She fears he might try to sabotage Kyle's happiness. Kyle, though, isn't afraid of Victor's interference. He refuses to let Victor dictate his life or influence his relationship with Claire. Summer, still skeptical, questions whether Kyle is truly in love with Claire. Kyle hesitates but admits that while he isn't there yet, things are progressing naturally. He hopes Summer truly means it when she says she isn't bothered. But as Kyle walks off, Summer bites her lip, deep in thought. Meanwhile, at Nate's apartment, Amy reflects on reconnecting with her son. She admits that while things aren't perfect, they reminisced and cried over the past, which gives her hope. Nate is relieved to hear that Damien may be willing to make amends. He also mentions Damien's growing interest in knowing his half-brother better. However, Damien's secrecy still concerns Nate, who half expected him to vanish again. Amy asks if Nate has uncovered anything new, and he reveals that Lily did some digging of her own. She discovered that the businesses Damien claims to own are actually under the control of a mysterious figure named Aristotle Dumas. Damien is merely the CDO. Amy has mixed feelings about this revelation. On one hand, she's relieved that her son isn't financially overextended. On the other hand, she wonders why Damien would agree to be a front for someone else's enterprises. Nate suggests they shouldn't always assume the worst. Amy decides to put faith in the idea that things will work out. As their conversation shifts, Nate shares another piece of news. His oncologist friend has made time to discuss Amy's treatment options. Amy is open to anything that might give her more time, especially now that she has a chance to mend things with her son. Feeling optimistic, she embraces the possibility of a miracle. Over at Crimson Lights, Devin and Lily are catching up on the patio when Damien arrives. Lily introduces him to Devin, who remains skeptical of Damien's past claims. Damien tries to charm Devin by complimenting his business success, but Devin immediately shifts the conversation, pressing him about the businesses he supposedly owns. When Damien hesitates, Lily steps in, admitting that she was the one who felt compelled to investigate his background. Genoa City is about to be shaken by a web of secrets and betrayal as David Hamilton uncovers a sinister plot involving Damien King and Amy. Their target? None other than Lily Winters, whom they aim to manipulate for access to crucial information about the Winters family business. As David starts connecting the dots, tensions mount, and the battle for control over Winters' enterprises becomes more intense than ever. Lily Winters, always a strong and determined woman, finds herself drawn into a mystery she never saw coming. Damien, a newcomer to the Winters family's orbit, initially seems like a charming businessman eager to make a mark in Genoa City. However, his sudden connection to Nate Hastings raises suspicions. When Lily uncovers the shocking truth that Damien is Nate's half-brother, she starts to question his true motives. Why did he keep this a secret? And more importantly, what is he really after? As Lily digs deeper, David becomes increasingly concerned. He's worked tirelessly to protect Winters' enterprises and knows that allowing outsiders too close could spell disaster. Damien's financial background doesn't add up. He has no known wealth, yet he's managing two major companies. Victor Newman, always a master of uncovering hidden agendas, steps in to investigate, suspecting that Damien might be a front for a more powerful entity looking to take over key businesses in Genoa City. Victor's investigation takes a dangerous turn when he discovers that Damien isn't acting alone. There's a shadowy figure behind him, pulling the strings and positioning him as a pawn in a larger corporate takeover. This revelation sends shockwaves through Devon, who realizes that Damien's closeness to Lily isn't just coincidental. If Damien is working under someone else's orders, then Lily might unknowingly be feeding information to a major threat. Meanwhile, Lily struggles with conflicting emotions. Damien appears to genuinely care for her, but is it all an act? His concern, his warmth, are they real, or is he simply playing a role to gain her trust? The more she learns about him, the more uncertain she becomes. The possibility that he's using her to get inside information about Winter's enterprises makes her question everything. Should she trust her instincts or assume the worst? Devon, unwilling to take any risks, warns Lily to stay away from Damien. He believes his sister is in danger, not just professionally but emotionally. The thought of her being manipulated by a man with unclear intentions enrages him. As Devon fights to keep his family and company secure, the tension between him and Damien reaches a boiling point. Victor, relentless in his pursuit of the truth, uncovers shocking details about Damien's connections. The powerful backers behind him aren't just interested in Winter's enterprises. They have their eyes on Newman Enterprises as well. This revelation escalates the stakes. If Damien succeeds in his mission, it could mean the downfall of both the Winters and Newman empires. But Victor isn't the only one investigating. Billy Abbott, always drawn to high-stakes drama, finds himself entangled in the unfolding chaos. His past relationship with Newman Enterprises makes him a person of interest. Could he be secretly aiding Damien, or is he just caught in the crossfire? His involvement adds another layer of uncertainty to the already volatile situation. As the truth unravels, one thing becomes clear: Damien isn't just a businessman looking for success. He's part of a much larger scheme, and if Devon, Victor, and Lily don't act fast, they could lose everything. Will Lily realize Damien's deception before it's too late? Can Devon protect his company from being infiltrated? And just who is the mastermind pulling Damien's strings? The Young and the Restless is setting up for an explosive showdown, with betrayals, corporate warfare, and shocking family revelations. One wrong move could change the future of Genoa City forever. The Young and the Restless is about to hit an all-time high in drama as Summer Newman faces a mental breakdown that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. After receiving devastating news from her mother, Phyllis Summer's world is turned upside down. How will she cope with this shocking revelation? And what does it mean for her future in Genoa City? Hold on tight. This is one roller coaster ride you won't want to miss. The shocking news that shatters Summer's world. For weeks, Summer has been navigating the turbulent waters of her personal life. Her complicated relationship with Kyle Abbott, her struggles at Chibot, and the mounting pressure of being the daughter of two of Genoa City's most notorious figures. But nothing could have prepared her for the bombshell Phyllis is about to drop. In an emotionally charged conversation, Phyllis reveals something that shakes Summer to her core. Rumors swirling suggest that the news could be about Phyllis's involvement in a life-altering event, or perhaps a devastating secret from Summer's past that has resurfaced. "You're not going to believe this, Summer," Phyllis says, her voice trembling as she delivers the news. The words hit Summer like a freight train, and within seconds, she's spiraling, her mental state deteriorating at an alarming rate. Summer's struggle. Can she handle it? After hearing the shocking news, Summer is left reeling. The once confident and self-assured woman we've come to know is now in a fragile state of mind. Struggling to make sense of the information Phyllis has shared, Summer can't help but feel betrayed, confused, and utterly alone. Her relationship with Kyle could be on the rocks as she seeks solace in the wrong places. Will she lean on her estranged mother, or will she push everyone away in a desperate attempt to regain control of her life? Fans are already speculating that Summer's crisis will lead to more than just a personal breakdown. It could also affect her career at Jabat. With her mind in turmoil, can she focus on her professional life, or will the weight of the news impact her ability to perform at work? Phyllis's role: is she helping or hurting? While Phyllis seems to have the best intentions, her past mistakes could complicate the situation even further. Could Phyllis's delivery of the bad news have been part of a larger plan? And if Phyllis is part of the reason Summer is spiraling, will she take responsibility or continue to deflect blame? Viewers are left questioning whether Phyllis is truly trying to help her daughter, or if she's unintentionally causing more harm than good. One thing's for sure: Phyllis's involvement in this crisis is far from over, and the consequences will echo throughout Summer's life. What's next for Summer? The fallout from Phyllis's shocking revelation will undoubtedly have lasting consequences for Summer. Will she be able to pull herself out of this mental crisis, or will the weight of the bad news consume her? As the pressure builds, Summer's relationships with Kyle, her family, and her friends will be tested in ways never seen before. And with a potential confrontation with Phyllis on the horizon, this mother-daughter duo may find themselves at odds like never before. Will Summer rise from the ashes of her mental crisis, or will this event mark a turning point in her life that she can never recover from? The future is uncertain, and the stakes have never been higher. Final thoughts: don't miss this emotional roller coaster. Next week on The Young and the Restless promises to be nothing short of electrifying. As Summer faces her darkest hour, the twists and turns will leave you gasping for breath. With every moment, the drama intensifies, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Will Summer survive this mental crisis? Will Phyllis's secrets destroy her daughter's future? For over 4 decades, Eric Braeden has been the heart and soul of The Young and the Restless, portraying the legendary Victor Newman. But in a move that has sent shockwaves through the soap opera world, the iconic actor is making a dramatic exit from the show. Fans are devastated, and speculation is running wild. Was it his decision? Was he pushed out? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future of Genoa City? Now, the real reasons behind his departure are finally coming to light. A legacy that defined daytime TV. Since joining Y&R in 1980, Eric Braeden has built Victor Newman into one of the most compelling characters in soap opera history. From ruthless business takeovers to passionate romances and bitter rivalries, Victor's presence shaped the very foundation of the show. His unforgettable feuds with Jack Abbott, his undying love for Nikki, and his complicated relationships with his children, especially Adam and Nick, have kept viewers glued to their screens for years. Behind-the-scenes drama? What really happened? While Braeden himself has remained tight-lipped about the exact reasons, inside sources reveal that tensions behind the scenes have been brewing for some time. Contract disputes, creative disagreements, and even rumors of a network shakeup may have played a role in his departure. In a recent interview, Braeden hinted at frustrations with the show's direction. "I've always believed in staying true to the character," he said cryptically. Could this mean he was unhappy with the way Victor's storyline was unfolding? Some insiders suggest that the decision wasn't entirely his. There have been discussions about Y&R moving in a new direction, one source claims. Victor Newman has been the backbone of the show, but some higher-ups felt it was time for a change. If true, this could be one of the most controversial decisions in Y&R history. How will Victor Newman's story end? With Braeden's departure confirmed, the biggest question remains: how will Y&R write out Victor Newman? Will he go out in a blaze of glory, perhaps in a shocking, dramatic twist fitting for his legacy? Could he finally retire and leave Genoa City behind, allowing for occasional guest appearances? Or, worst-case scenario, will the show make the heartbreaking decision to kill off Victor Newman permanently? Fans are already speculating about possible endings. Some believe that a tragic medical crisis could take Victor's life, leaving the Newman family shattered. Others hope for a more open-ended farewell, leaving the door open for a return. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: I and R will never be the same. Fans react. This feels like the end of an era. As soon as the news broke, social media exploded with emotional reactions. I can't imagine Y and R without Victor Newman. This is heartbreaking. So Finn forever. If they kill off Victor, I'm done with this show. We're a fanatic. Eric Braeden is the young and the restless. They better give him the send-off he deserves. So pop rollover. Many fans are calling for the showrunners to reconsider and give Braeden the respect he's earned over the years. A petition demanding a proper farewell has already gained thousands of signatures. What's next for Eric Braeden? While this may be the end of Victor Newman, Eric Braeden isn't ready to slow down just yet. Insiders suggest he may be eyeing new projects, possibly even a return to primetime television or streaming platforms. Some even speculate that another soap opera could snatch him up for a new, equally powerful role. In a heartfelt message to fans, Braeden reassured them, "This isn't goodbye forever. I will always cherish the love and support you've given me over the years." Could this hint at a future return? Only time will tell. The end of an era or a new beginning? No matter how Victor Newman's story concludes, Eric Braeden's legacy on The Young and the Restless is undeniable. His departure marks the end of an era, but as soap operas have proven time and time again, anything is possible. Will Lie and R survive without Victor Newman, or will this be the beginning of a decline for the long-running soap?